So before we get started on this week's episode of the show, LA, man, it's a somber moment right now across the world, you know, especially in the city of Los Angeles. We lost a legend, man, in Kobe Bryant, and it's hurt us all, you know, deeply, man. D Boone.
My hero growing up, definitely just, I think a lot of even the players we see on the show were inspired by him because he was transparent with his competitiveness, and he basically showed us how to compete and how to be excellent. And so we'll always remember Kobe and all the other victims of that horrible accident. Our condolences go out to those families and anybody affected by it.
Yeah, man, we lost a legend. We lost an incredible father, an incredible motivator, an incredible mentor. As you can see, he touched so many different players in the NBA. Whether you were an athlete or not, he served as a mentor. He had a presence about him that made you want to achieve greatness. And you know, I know our partnership with Mamba Sports Academy that we've had for the past year, we personally felt that. You know, we felt that in anything we touched with the Mamba logo, we felt a different standard that we had to uphold. But rest in peace to Kobe and Gigi and the rest of the victims of that unfortunate helicopter crash, man. Our hearts, our prayers go out to them. Gone, but definitely not forgotten, and their legacy will live on forever. Episode 15, the show LA, man. We're back in the city, fresh off the islands.
Not me though, because they left me, because they fake, but it's cool.
Nah, hey, man, D Boone, he had work to do, man, so we let him get his work in, but I'm AP.
D Boone.
And on the show today, man, we got some great guests for you. We have Big Dave Uiagalelei, Matayo Uiagalelei, his son, the freshman at St. John Bosco, and we also got Jahlil McClain, man, a baller from your area.
From the IE. They all from the IE, really, but yeah.
So from the IE to St. John Bosco, man, we got some great guests on the show today, but looking forward to a great episode 15. Stay tuned.
Hey, man. You know what time it is, man. I'm going crazy. You already know me. Sir. Yes, sir. Polynesian ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show LA brought to you by Zort Sports.
You can check out Zort Sports, 100% free tournament scheduling app. You can download the Zorts app on iPhone or Android. It's your one-stop shop to scheduling any tournament or league, absolutely free. Once again, check out Zorts_sports on Twitter and Instagram. All right, our next guest on the show today, Matayo Uiagalelei. This man needs no introduction, man. He's the next up-and-coming guy at St. John Bosco. Everybody knows, he's the younger brother of DJ, but this dude is making a name for himself. When I first met him, I was taller than him, and he sprouted up, and he's stacking offers, man. Your first offer was Oregon.
Yes,
how old were you when you got your Oregon offer?
I think I was 12 or 13. I was in 8th grade.
And what did you think? Like, what was going through your head?
It was crazy because I was just at home, and then they called my brother and they put me on FaceTime with them, and they told me that they're gonna offer me, and I ran around the house.
Yeah. And what was it like at school the next day? Did you have school the next day? I mean, what was it like?
It was crazy. Everybody walked up to me, told me congratulations, but I just kept on working after that.
And now recently, you got Texas A&M, most recent. I think you've got some recruiters waiting for you right now, actually, while you're on this show to give you an offer. Just got a phone call from his mom. And so we got to get Matayo in and out of here, man. So most recently, you got a Texas A&M offer, SEC, you got a Bama offer. So you've got, SEC schools, Pac-12, schools from all over the country pretty much on you right now. So what kind of standard do you feel like you have to live up to now that you've got offers from some of the biggest schools in the country?
I mean, I feel like I still have to be myself, but I just have to be careful with what I do. And I feel like I've been surrounded by the good people to help me get through it and tell me what to do and not to do.
Now, social media is a big thing, right? And it could help your offers or hurt your offers, right? So, what kind of things do you make sure that you do on your social media so that you don't have any kind of negative backlash towards you?
Well, I never post anything that could give me negative backlash. And before I post something, I'll think about it and just think about if anybody can get this in a wrong way or misinterpret it. And yeah, that's
now, is that something that you learned from your brother or just from watching other people? Where did you kind of get that approach?
I learned it from my brother and just my parents, just making sure that I always have a good reputation and representing the family right.
Now, you got a chance to go out to Hawaii for the Polynesian Bowl. It's a game that, you'll probably undoubtedly, get offered to go to. But what was it like being out in Hawaii for Bowl Week?
Man, it was fun. Me and DJ got to hang out a couple of times. You were recording us when we were throwing the football and wanted to go run and work out. But it was just a good atmosphere, seeing a whole bunch of different players coming from everywhere, like Hawaii and stuff. And it was fun.
And I mean, your brother was already gone to college, right? And then he came back, and you guys got to kick it, right? So that was one of the more special things for you.
That was fun seeing him for the last time, and then I don't know when the next time I'll see him, but.
Now, you've obviously, you've got his shoes to fill at St. John Bosco, right? So you're walking around that campus and you're the guy, right? You're DJ's brother and you obviously play a different position. But what kind of respect do you get on campus? I had an older brother who came through school before me, right? And so he knew all the teachers, right? All the staff knew him. Does it feel more like family on campus at Bosco?
I mean, it's always felt like family at Bosco, let me start over.
Go ahead.
It always feels like family, even though I get all these offers and nothing really changes. I'm still the same person as the student next to me in class. I'm still a student there, and everybody's just friendly. Everybody's friends and stuff, and that's how it goes.
Now, you're not only an athlete, you're a student as well, but you're a producer, so you got people buying beats from you, and you've been producing beats for a long time. I think, I've seen your stuff, via your dad's social media forever now. How did you get into music, man? And how does having that passion with music help you, excel in the classroom or on the football field?
Well, I first got into music because my dad and all his brothers were doing it for a while. And I just remember being in there a couple of times and just messing around. And then I eventually got it myself for different programs, and I was just messing around on it. And I eventually got good and started taking it seriously. And
so, who are some of the people that you've worked with so far?
I've worked with Diana Jane. She's a singer. She used to be part of Fifth Harmony, and My only song that I have out right now is it's called Brown Skin. It's by this artist named Craig, and he's from Park Village. But he's a Samoan kid. He's very talented, and DJ's my manager for producing, so he helped me get connected with him.
That's what's up, man. Now, any chance, we might get a couple beats one of these days?
Yeah, I'll send you some.
All right, because we got the Venmo, Cash App, whatever we gotta do, man. Because everybody has to eat, man. But what's it like for you, for going into this season at St. John Bosco? It'll be your sophomore year. You got a national championship that you won as a freshman, right? What kind of goals have you set for yourself for your high school career?
Just to be, same as what my dad said, just to win. It's all about wins and losses. Make sure all my teammates and myself is working hard as possible to make sure we can win like every game possible.
Now, just one thing that you want to say to college recruiters out there, right? You have offers, but you don't have every offer, right? Why should a college coach want Matayo Uiagalelei on their squad?
I feel because I can outwork anybody who stands in my way, and all I want to do for the team is win. I'll do anything for the team to help us win.
Young Matayo, man, they actually call him Young Concrete. Where can they find you on your social media?
Young_Concrete on all my social media platforms.
Follow up, man. Amazing football player, student athlete, man, and up and coming producer. We thank you for having you. We thank you for coming on the show, LA, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
How do you want us to start the read? Because it's a dig. Because it's a dig and then a post, right? Yeah. So read the safety.
I would look here.
Look post first and then come down, right?
Okay,
You want one more? Down. So hard.
Try to get him in the middle on the middles. Think right in the middle of the field.
You got it, coach.
Try to expect it right in the middle.
Got it.
Tight end.
Because if you hitting that guy, that means that safety off. So
Yep.
you know what I mean? So you got that right there. Just keep him running.
Got it. That's my name, yours, ball. Fans are that okay? Yes, sir. Hey, what play is this, Soldier? What play is this?
It's Y crosser, but it's Z cross, but it's really drive. There's a short, dig, and
Post.
post. Yeah. Okay, got
Here goes. Dig. Cross. Down. Say hard.
Dig.
Oh. Oh, is it? Hey.
You'll see them crowd you and you can move them.
Got it.
Get
So
that.
inside guy has a post, and outside guy has the post curl.
What's up? This is me and DJ right here, Mr. 5 Star. It's an honor to be mic'd up with him. We're gonna change it up today.
We're gonna start our YouTube channel.
Hey, we're gonna change it up today. We're gonna do duo mic'd up.
All right, we're in the studio with another star from St. John Bosco, only a freshman, Jahlil McClain, wide receiver DB. I guess, the DB wide receiver coaches are fighting over you right now, but, you might be like Chris Hudson and just play both, right? When they asked him to step it up, he definitely stepped it up. But first and foremost, going to St. John Bosco, what was it like, leaving junior high your 8th grade year? You had many probably high schools to choose from. Why Bosco?
It was a family decision. Me and my family talked about it, me and my mom, my brother. And it was just the best thing for us. For me, about to go to Centennial, going to Bosco, I just knew it had to be done. It was the right decision for me.
Now, you guys are you're at a program where you got a ton of exposure. So, as only a freshman, you've already got offers from Oregon, Arizona State, Arizona. Just naming those 3 schools right now, name one great attribute about each of those programs that you like.
Oregon. I'm just gonna say Oregon because my boy Chris Hudson, he went there. He's going there actually and just committed. And it's just a good atmosphere. I just can't wait to get up there and go get that visit.
Yeah, so right now you say Oregon's pretty high on your list?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, in regards to the next level, you know, again, you're only a freshman, but, you know, what position do you feel like you're going to gravitate towards, you know, in high school, you know, going into college?
That receiver spot. I want DB, but it's that receiver spot.
You like the ball in your hands?
I got to get that rock. I got to make something happen.
Now, you played with some of the top competition, you know, coming up. You were on the Premier Nights. You know, coming up in 8th grade, you know, how did the circuit help you to develop into a great high school player?
Just getting ready for high school and just doing it big and just competing with the highest level I can and just getting it done day by day.
Now, coming up, you know, in the IE, a ton of great athletes, right? So who are some of those guys that you came up with right now who are balling out at the next level?
My boy GB and Gary Bryant.
What kind of things did Gary teach you, or what were you able to learn from him?
He's just a guy with the rock. He's just been doing it for so long. He just got to get it done. He's a playmaker, and that's just a guy you just have to keep working, looking out for.
So how did you feel, you know, when he chose SC, right? Because he's still going to be on your home turf.
I was shocked. I thought it was Washington, but it is what it is. He got to get it done. He's going to stay home to his people and his family. I'm sure it was a family decision.
Now, you like Oregon. Any plans on taking any unofficials up there?
Yeah, I plan on to. That's my future school I've been wanting since youth, and I'm looking forward to that.
Now, you've obviously got a varsity season to look forward to next year at Bosco, but we've got the circuit right now. So you're playing with Steve Clarkson and those guys, and then you're also at Stars, right? So what kind of things are you learning from, you know, the different coaches that you're able to have in the off season outside of St. John Bosco?
Steve Clarkson, he's a guy. He's a quarterback coach, so he knows where a quarterback should put the ball for a receiver. And Coach Frog, he been there for telling me my width and my steps and my routes and get out my breaks and stuff like that.
So over at Stars, you know, they got a lot of talent. You know, college guys training in the offseason, NFL guys. You know, who are some of those guys that you've had a chance to see out there at Stars?
Well, I just started working out with them actually, so I haven't seen nobody yet.
And who are you looking forward to meeting out there? Because they got some Pro Bowlers, man.
Just Juju, man. That's the face of Stars right now. I've just been looking forward to meet Juju.
So, you know, growing up watching college, watching the NFL, is there anyone in particular that you modeled your game after?
Not really, just myself. Just perfecting on my craft, doing what I have to do, and just, yeah, myself basically.
Now, do you have aspirations on playing any of the bowl games in the future? You know, you see them on TV. You know, what's it like when you fast forward in your mind and think about that next level?
It's a blessing. I just know I gotta keep working. Me and my boy Matayo talk about it every day. Just can't wait to get there and shine.
Now, Coach Negro, we've known him for nearly 10 years in this game. I think when I first interviewed Josh Rosen, he didn't even have an offer.
Right.
But here you are, as a freshman with multiple offers, right? What's it like playing for a coaching staff with Coach Negro and all the guys at Bosco?
It's wonderful. They go getters for sure. They gonna get you where you need to go, but they gonna work you at the same time. Now,
last but not least, I think you've got a school waiting for you right now to potentially extend an offer. It's likely that it's gonna happen, man. But what's that feeling like, knowing that you've got a ton of schools in the pipeline who are ready to pull the trigger?
It's nothing much to it, but I just know I gotta keep working, and it's a blessing. But I just know I gotta keep working. There's more to it.
Now, what would you say if you could look that camera in the eye right now? Why should a college coach, want Jahlil McClain on their squad at the next level?
I'm working, and I'm gonna give you what you want. And I'm gonna go get it for sure. You're gonna like what you see.
Only a freshman, his first interview, man, but you definitely couldn't tell. This guy might be in my spot one day, man, in the near future. But Jahlil McClain, St. John Bosco freshman, congrats on a great season, man, and we look forward to seeing you in 2020.
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Turn up. Can't wait, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where you going?
You going to Oregon? Yes, sir. Let's go Ducks. Go crazy. I'm telling you right now. Hey, I'm mic'd up, boy. I'm mic'd up.
What, mic'd up?
Mic'd up. We punching or ripping? Yeah. I ain't 1 minute. Keep me a ratchet like this. Hey, strong right, strong right. 180. 180. dog. I'm booming. I can't. Hey, I want to be booming shit.
Back in Los Angeles, back in the city, man. We spent about a week on the islands with this guy right here, Big Dave Uiagalelei, father of DJ and Matayo. DJ's actually already enrolled at Clemson, took a break to go to the Polynesian Bowl. But you guys did the bowl circuit, man. DJ was in the All-American Bowl, and then you guys got to go to Hawaii, man, and got to bring the whole family.
Yes, sir.
You know, first and foremost, we're coming off that event. How was Hawaii?
Hawaii was amazing. It was fun. You know, we're from Hawaii. Well, I am, my family. So I had all my family out in Hawaii, so that I knew that trip was gonna be fun. Just seeing all of them. You know, we don't really get a chance to go back to Hawaii. So when that game came up and we were allowed to go back home. But what was so cool was the second time this year, you know, in 6 months. So we got to see them twice. It was a wonderful trip. I loved it.
So you obviously, you know, you're happy with the decision that you made with the family and going to St. John Bosco, right?
Yeah.
How did St. John Bosco put you guys in the position to be able to, you know, take advantage of all these different opportunities?
Well, you know, the first thing when we started this process with DJ, the goal from day one was real simple. If you want to be the best, you got to compete with the best at the best level, you know? So the plan was, since my kids grew up in Upland, the plan was to go to Upland. So, but as DJ evolved, you know, playing football, seeing how, you know, how much talent he had and doing what he was doing, and we figured like, we got to go somewhere where he's going to get challenged. You know, that's the number one thing. Where is he going to go to be able to be challenged and develop and be ready for the next level? That's the whole reason. Basically the reason behind why we went to Bosco.
And I mean the Trinity League, right? It speaks for itself. We had DJ on the show the day after, you know, you guys beat De La Salle for the state championship. But I asked him what his, you know, favorite game that he ever played in was in high school, and it wasn't that state championship. It was the CIF championship against Mater Dei, where, you know, he had got his revenge. You know, down 28-5. And came back. What was it like for you sitting in the bleachers during that game when the score was 28-5?
Man, it was. I ain't gonna lie, I was ready to go to Clemson. You know, I can't lie. You're mad. You know, you're a parent. You don't want to see your kid out there, you know, struggling or the team struggling. You know, but I never think my son and the team was gonna come back and score 5 touchdowns straight.
We asked DJ, you know, when he thought, you know, did he think it was over? And he said he never flinched. He said he never thought his team was out of it.
He's totally different from me. You know, to me, he evolved that night. He became who he was destined to be, you know what I mean? He gave everything up. That's what people don't understand. He gave up the Elite 11. I mean, that's a the
7-on-7 circuit.
Yeah, but Elite 11 is something that we watched since he was 6th grade. You understand? Like I dreamt like he was going to win it. You know what I mean? And for him to leave the 7-on-7, decide to stay with his team. You know, he pissed a lot of people off doing that, but he didn't care because what mattered to him was his team. You know what I mean? And just listening to him, you know what I mean? Like he kind of what he was, you know, to speak about what happened with Kobe. But I heard him talk about, he watched a lot of the Kobe stuff, and that's what Kobe was about, winning. And winning losses, that's all that matters to him, to DJ too. So that's probably the reason why all that other stuff didn't matter, because those are individual awards. You know, he's always speaking about team.
Speaking of team, at the All-American game, you know, they threw him on the East squad, right? Because maybe they figured he wants to play with some of the guys that he's going to be playing with at the next level. But in the Polynesian Bowl, you fast forward to that game, and I remember you telling me a story after we got off the flight from Hawaii, and you said that, you know, that was his play call on the game winning touchdown, right? And what did he do?
He let Sojay stay in the game because he knew this is, you know, he's from Hawaii. You know, to DJ, he didn't matter about him going in scoring. Sojay was doing his thing, had the team rolling. You know, he said, just stay in there, man, it's all good. And he was cheering him on the whole time. Even when he received the player of the game, DJ's right there yelling and cheering. And that's what I love the most about DJ, you know. and my kids. That's just how they are.
Now, how did he do it? Because it seemed like every time you looked up, you know, he had a camera in his face, right? And he had multiple cameras in his face, right? So how do you instill like that humility in a teenager, right? To be able to do that, you know, off the field, but then still perform on the field?
I guess it started at a young age. You know, my wife, me, his grandparents, everybody, his coaches. I think the people that we allowed in his life. I tell people, a lot of people thank me and my wife, but I always say it took a village. It wasn't just us. It was all the people that was in his life, teaching him how to be humble, teaching him to respect the game, to be appreciative. You know, one coach, Coach Joe, who coached Phenoms, that's the when they were #1 12U, you know, baseball team in the country. He taught DJ that there's kids in other countries that don't have the equipment. You know, so you showing up to a game without your glove. Really, there's kids that use a cardboard in other countries for a glove. And you're going to disrespect this sport by coming and just think it's like okay to forget your glove. You know, that's the kind of stuff that was installed in DJ at a young age. So that from there, as he's growing, he's just understanding that how to block off the pressure, you know, block off everyone talking about he's the #1 ranked quarterback or whatever it is. Anything that has to do with just him being who he is, he knows how to block it off. All he wants to do is just be a better teammate for his team. All that matters to him.
Well, he came into Bosco, right, and he was behind Real Mitchell, right, and that's when the QB1 show was going off. What was his mindset going into Bosco? Because you had somebody who was a legend like Josh Rosen, right? Who Bosco were national champions back with him, and Damian Mama, Jahlil Wadud, all those guys. What did he say specifically heading into Bosco? Like, what did he want his legacy to be?
He really just wanted to focus on helping the team. It's the same. How he handled the situation with Clemson, going in behind Trevor Lawrence. They asked him, "What is your expectation?" He said, "I don't care if I'm the starter or the 4th string quarterback. Whatever I got to do to help the team." It's the same way he was when he came into Bosco. He didn't look to come in and try to take over or nothing like that. He wanted to learn. He wanted to get developed. He wanted to get challenged, and just get him ready, you know, for the next level.
Now, you guys obviously you sought out St. John Bosco, right?
Yeah.
And you know, why not Mater Dei?
Yeah. Well, Mater Dei didn't really. I think they had JT Daniels, so they were cool with that. And that's the reason why he didn't. We didn't go there, and DJ chose Bosco. I actually was, because we live in the IE by Upland, so the closest school I thought that was in the Trinity or the public school, private school was Bishop Vermont, and we were ready to go to Bishop. Shook their hand, was ready to, you know, get him there, and then on the drive home, DJ asked me, basically said, "Is this where you want me to go?" Or, you know, and he gave me that look, and I'm like, well, where do you want to go? You know, and he said, "Dad, I want to go to Bosco." So he chose to go to Bosco. That's where he wanted to go. He's a huge fan of Damian Mama and all those guys that year, Josh Rosen, that one. That was huge for him.
Now, the locker room, we've been in the locker room, pregame, postgame, you know, halftime. And I mean, it's the atmosphere, it's kind of a hands-off from the coaches, right? They just let the kids be kids, right? How did that help, you know, Bosco rise to where they were, you know, and to take home that national championship, you know, this past season?
Well, it was cool because I have nephews that play on Mater Dei. They tell me what goes on in there. And they love it's all okay, but they look at DJ and all of them, they love the fact that they're just staying loose, you know? That's what DJ loves about in their locker room. They're just staying loose and being happy and, you know, out there just getting crunk, you know what I mean? Just getting hyped up and getting ready for the game, playing the music they want to hear, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about at Bosco, you know? Just a family. I love when I hear that coach allow them the seniors to have their own meetings with their own selves. You know, that's really good. That takes initiative for a senior to step up and be a leader. That's the one thing I wanted for DJ growing up. A lot of times, DJ's always the young kid, always behind an older kid. I really wanted to see this year, how was he going to step up? How was he going to be a leader? And in that game against Mater Dei, I don't know if you noticed the second half, every time before he went in, he's looking at every old lineman, at every offense, and telling them, you know, come on, let's go. If you put your 110%, you can read his lips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's saying that to them. That's what I wanted to see out of him.
Now, speaking of the older guys, you know, bringing up the youngsters, right? What was it like for you, you know, as a father, right? And even just as a fan of the game, being able to see, you know, DJ and Matayo on the same team for his senior year?
That was a blessing. And, you know, I honestly didn't want Matayo to play varsity. Coach Negro had a meeting and asked if we could move Matayo up. I didn't want to move him up. I want him to have fun on the freshman, you know. And I know my son Matayo, but you know, I pulled Matayo aside and I asked him, "Do you want to play varsity?" He's like, "Yes." Okay, all right. So it was so cool to see Matayo, a young kid, play varsity. The best. I remember the first game. It was against the Matha. Did you see their D-line?
Oh yeah, them dudes were huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Then the guy that's going against Matayo, mind you, just seeing Matayo at that age, you know what I mean, going up against this huge guy, you know what I mean, like, so my thought was like, please don't kill my son. And then you see Matayo lock this guy up and block him, and I'm over here cheering like, yeah, you know, screaming. And
I mean, so you got to pick and choose. Like, do you want to focus on Matayo at tight end, or do you want to focus on DJ at the quarterback?
Man,
right?
I've seen Matayo. I've seen DJ 100 times. I'm cool with DJ.
Right.
I was watching Matayo every time he went in. I'm cheering. Even when he go block for field goal, I'm cheering. You know. And as the year went on, you know, Matayo just got better and better. You know, and he's a lot bigger now. So
now, everybody's, you know, saw that no-look pass from the Polynesian Bowl, and you were actually, this is the guy right here who told me to put it on Twitter, by the way. I don't know, I haven't been such a big fan of Twitter ever since they suspended our SportsRecruits account, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that pass was out of this world, and it went viral, right? Yeah. And everything everybody's saying is, you know, after Trevor Lawrence leaves, you know, you guys are going to be right back in the college football playoff for, you know, for years to come. What kind of a feeling do you get from the support of the Clemson faithful? Because those guys, you know, they're die hard.
Yeah, I feel thankful, you know, grateful that they accept my son and they love him the way they do. I've been up there 3 times, and every time I've been up there, I didn't want to come back. I just want to stay there.
That Southern hospitality?
They love him, man. I'm not even, you know, when he went up there to register, you know, early, I think he was the only one out of all the 15 kids that came without a parent. So that goes to show that he was comfortable. He was ready to be there, and we had faith in Clemson that they'll take care of him and give him whatever he needs to be successful out there.
I mean, I saw his story the other day. You know, he was asking for help with the laundry, right?
Yeah.
But hey, man, as a college freshman, you know, we've all been there, right? Yeah. You got to move and groove on your own. But you know, he's definitely ready. He's ready because of you. He's ready because of Bosco. What would you say to any, you know, young kid out there trying to make their high school decision? Because it's a big deal these days. You know, you got to make a decision where to go to high school. You know, why Bosco?
You know, the one thing I want these parents too, and the kids, to be honest with yourself. You know, not everybody's going to be a DJ. Not everybody's going to be these other kids out there. You know, look at where you can be successful. You know what I mean? What school you want to go to, where you know they're going to give you the best opportunity to get on the field, or, you know, I would love for all the best players to come to Bosco, but I would ask the kids to just keep grinding, you know. Sometimes they get discouraged a little bit because they're not getting recruited like other kids, but trust me.
Well, prime example, Danny Lockhart.
Yeah.
Wasn't being recruited all season.
Not at all.
And now he's at SC.
SC, man, and it only takes, I tell a lot of kids, it only takes 1 year, you know what I mean? And maybe take 1 game. For Danny, it was that Polynesian Bowl game. That was the difference for him, coming out there competing with all the best, so-called best, and then you stand out in that game. So, you know, that's my thing to the kids. Just don't get distracted. Don't see other kids and what they're getting and why am I not getting this. Man, everybody's path is different.
Don't have your hands in anybody else's pocket.
Just worry about yourself. Yeah. Don't worry. The one thing I see a lot of kids, they worry about what other people think. Man, trust me. Who cares? Just go out there, bust your butt, and worry about what you have to, what you can control, and what you doing out there. Are you out there grinding? You know what I mean? Don't worry. Don't look at other people and why they're getting offers and why I'm not getting offers. Trust me, every situation is different. You know what I'm saying? So that's my message to them, and just be patient. You know, if it's not happening for you early, trust me. The work, I say this all the time, talent can only take you so far. It's those kids that put in the extra work, like Danny. You know, he's out there before everyone gets out there and stays out there after everyone gets off the field, you know. What people don't know is Hilton came up there looking for Danny. He found Danny on the track doing sprints. You know what I'm saying? That should say something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, he was Danny Lockhart. He was the first ever guest on the show LA.
Wow. That's
He was our first ever guest. You know, him and his dad came in with young Jordan, and man, we got a lot of love for the Lockharts, man. So great family, and it couldn't have happened to a better young man. Prefer walk on at USC, but no doubt this kid is going to earn his scholarship.
Oh, heck yeah.
ASAP. But Big Dave, man, I thank you for coming on the show, LA.
It's my honor.
Man, and appreciate all the love you've shown us over the years, because like you said, you get to choose who's in the circle, because at this stage in the game, a lot of people want to be in the circle, and not everybody for the right reasons, man, but we're glad that you trusted us. And I still remember that photo we took on the sideline at Bosco before DJ got there, and I was actually taller than Mateo, so you know, times have changed, man, but appreciate you, Big Dave, for coming on.
You know, I want to say thank you because of this platform you created. People don't understand how huge this is. You know, because of you bless a lot of kids. You and your staff and everyone here, you bless a lot of kids with the opportunity to come out here and, you know, show them who they are, and that's important. That's very important, and you know, you get a lot of the credit. You're one of the reasons why DJ and Mateo and all these other kids are able. These colleges are able to see them, like Danny Lockhart. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, man, that was huge for him to be on here. So, thank you, man.
We have fun doing it, man, and it's for the kids from day one. So it's never gonna change up.
Heck yeah, my boy.
Thank you guys for watching episode 15 of the show LA.
Man, we appreciate your guys' support. Without you guys, this show would not happen. So much love to everybody tuning in. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm AP.
D-Boom.
Deuces.